And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the semi-finals or semi-finales here of the FEL Fusion Esports League Cracov 2025 Polish Championship. Welcome to day 3. Welcome to the playoffs. We just wrapped up with the upper semis, and we have a laser waiting in the grand finals, and he's waiting for one of these two players, for one Polish Protoss. But which one? We're here to find out. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of ley lines, we have the blue Polish Protoss player representing Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Polish Protoss player. We have the red Polish Protoss representing Team Liquid. It is MaNa, the manager himself. Let's go, let's go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Let's jump into our PvP. This is going to be a hard one to call. I would say that if we were casting this like a year ago, I would be like Gerald. He's favored 100%, right? A year ago was a different MaNa. We spoke about this at the start of the year even, how MaNa, he has been revitalized. Like MaNa, he was invited to a bunch of Stormgate tournaments, he was making a bunch of Stormgate content, and after that, that competitive itch was still there, the drive was still there, and over the past year of play, MaNa, he has been getting better and better and better results. He's been improving so much. He's been having a bit of a renaissance in his career and been looking very competitive amongst the other top European players. We've been seeing MaNa take down players like MaxPax, take down players like not on a regular basis, but on an irregular basis, and that's still something. Like, that's still really impressive. Like MaNa, he's got some crazy spikes, and he's got some crazy peaks whenever he's in form. Whenever he's locked in, he can take down anyone. Oh boy. Meanwhile, I would say that the more, whereas the peaks are high for MaNa, I would say that, like, when it comes to where our players kind of stabilize and where they typically are on average, like, I do favor Gerald. Like, Gerald, he's a very solid player. He's also been on the rise over the past, what, year, 2, 3 years, ever since like the COVID era of StarCraft. Like, Gerald has been slowly rising the ranks amongst the European Protoss players to the point where now I would say he's amongst the best of them. And yeah, he's also a very strong contender here to even claim the entire tournament. Oh boy. I mean, yet the best of the best in Poland, but true. Now that we're settling in, we do have our initial gate cyber expand. Ooh, a greedier build here from MaNa. MaNa going for a Stargate before the Nexus. Meanwhile, Gerald able to throw down his own, does go for a 2-gate opener. He delays his units in favor of that Nexus. Okay, interesting openers. Very interesting. So with this, the Oracle's on the way. MaNa, his goal here is to get some economic damage done across the map. He is moving up with his Oracle, and we'll see if Gerald can keep up. We'll see if he can retain his economy. We go. As both players do go for their Twilight Council follow-ups, both players working towards Blink. The first Oracle does zoom across the map. And economically, we're keeping pace with each other. The Nexus for Gerald's a little bit faster than his opponents, but only by a couple of seconds. Oracle does poke in, and Gerald, he's ready. Yeah, shield battery is done. Oracle is deflected. No hull damage. The Oracle does pivot away. And going for the stasis. Stasis trap. Ooh, is going to connect. Only on one. Only on one probe. Whew. Thankfully, Gerald does react in time. At the same time, he's keeping up with the main army. Adept does look to shade in. And will not commit. MaNa just looking for a weak point in the defenses here of Gerald. He's looking. So far hasn't found one. There's still, of course, a lot of potential as he does keep the Oracle alive. Gerald's breaking out. Bearing in mind, because MaNa invested into the Stargate, into the Oracle, Gerald's ground army is greater. Like, he has a stronger ground army currently. He's got 3 sentries to 0 from MaNa. And force fields, they can lock down an army this early on. They can completely dominate a fight. Because remember, there's no blink. There's no blink, there's no prism, there's no juggling. Gerald, he's expanding, getting a third base at the same time. He's pushing in. He does push forward. There's one shield battery. Zeliker is down. Waits for more reinforcements. The Oracle still looking for damage. Does go for the stasis. And Gerald, he does react. He does pull away. And no major damage, only losing 1 probe. But he pulls back. I do think he could have tried to be a little bit more assertive here, but he pulls back home. Gerald, he plays it safe, and what he did do, even though he didn't break the base or he didn't try to bust into the mineral line, he did contain. And as a result, Gerald, he's now up in expansion. MaNa still on 2 bases, going for a much later third instead. Go. As Gerald goes back into the main, once again, Gerald, he does react. Does respond. MaNa pushing to the center. Blink is about to finish. Blink is now going to be done for both players. So both players have Blink. MaNa's pushing. Is going to be spotted. Spotted by hallucination. Gerald, he is paying attention. Does have big Guardian shields. Ooh, first sentry goes down. Oh. Does with the sentry, does take down 2 stalkers, though. 2, almost 3 stalkers go down. Yeah, better trade here from Gerald. But he will lose another sentry. Oh, and the final sentry goes down. No force fields left. Just Blink stalkers. He's gaining ground, but Gerald does have the defensive advantage. Shield Barrier is just now finishing up. And Gerald holds. Gerald, he does hold on. MaNa, he did have some better trades there. Looking at the trades, we can see that MaNa, he was able to pick off 2 stalkers and 3 sentries, only losing 2 himself. But all the stalkers are low. They're very low HP. As MaNa does pull out, it does pull away. And now we're taking up from here. Again, it wasn't an all-in. Both players were expanding, so both players are saturating their third bases. We have charge on the way here from Gerald. No charge yet out of MaNa. MaNa's still committing to purely Blink Stalker. The Robo's on the way for eventual mortal production. He is getting there. Likewise, does start to step in. He does have that higher Stalker count. 17 Stalkers! And Gerald, he's getting caught out here. Yeah, he's getting caught out, so his gateways are still on the way. Stalkers are being overwhelmed, and MaNa, he just commits. He just breaks on through here and now, just going pure Stalker. Gerald, he was taking into all these gateways, into immortal production, into charge. Units that aren't helping. Units that won't help with the defense. As MaNa, he just went for the kill, and MaNa, he will overwhelm. There's, what, 4 Stalkers remaining. MaNa, he can keep going. He can just keep pushing. Only 4 Stalkers left. Now getting up to 5. MaNa pushing forward. Looking for a little bit more damage. Gets a couple of probes. Gerald is able to tank. Once again, MaNa should just dive. And he will. Yeah, he does dive in. Takes out the Immortal. There's nothing to defend. Gerald, he gets caught with his pants down. And MaNa, he should have break the third. As he takes out almost every single Stalker. Leaves out a couple units of the charge loss. And again, the Zealots, they trade well for themselves. But now there's nothing to support the Zealots. They're on their own for the most part. Behind this, MaNa getting another base. Getting a 4th. MaNa getting into +1. Just getting further ahead. Oh. I mean, again, Zealots are trading well here for Geralt, and he's going to try to dive on top of that Prism. Yeah, one more volley. The Prism does get away. Oof, and MaNa punishes. Oh, God, yeah, he does punish the dive. I say that these Zealots, they still trade very well for themselves. And the Prism does go down. Okay, Prism goes down. Geralt, he's holding. Geralt, he is behind. Like, he's down in workers, he's down in economy, he's down in stalkers, but he makes up for that with charge lots. Again, there's a reason why typically, you know, in PvP, players, they tech into Zealots, then they tech to Archons from there. Geralt has been having more efficient fights despite having the smaller army. Now the supplies are neck and neck. Geralt's moving in. Going for the pylon. He will lose his Zealots, though. Yeah, there was a lot of DPS in that pylon. The Zealots are being overwhelmed. MaNa still has the greater army. He's got so many Stalkers here. And here comes the Immortal as well. Yeah, the Immortal just to secure this. Like, we had some impressive fights here from Geralt, but it's still an uphill battle. It's still just too much. Leaks on forward. Brings down the Prism, no more reinforcements. And that'll be the end of this army for Gerald. Oof, as he will lose everything. Escaping with a single Stalker. GG gets called, and MaNa, he will take game number 1. Whew, GG. MaNa, he will take a lead in the series. Again, a stronger push from MaNa, winding it back a little bit. So both players were expanding, both players were taking their third bases, but Gerald, he was throwing down a bunch of production, he was teching up, he was investing into charge, into immortals, into a wall of gateways, whereas MaNa was just warping in. He was just non-stop warping in, pure Stalker, and he was able to break through. He had, I want to say it was 17 Stalkers to 7. Like, he had 10 more Stalkers compared to his opponent. MaNa was not skipping any warp-ins, he just committed then and there, and did break Gerald at the third. Did break him. And with that, GG. GG will play MaNa to take a lead. And now we're getting ready for game number 2. Getting ready for game 2. Game 2 is going to be on Tokamak. Now, what I will say is that I don't think we really got to see too much of our two players here. MaNa was just very aggressive, very assertive, and Gerald didn't miss that. We'll see how our players will adjust coming into Tokamak, one of the larger, more defensive maps in the map pool, a map that we often see longer, later games. Also, I'm curious to see how our players do deviate when it comes to the opener. I don't know if you noticed, but MaNa, he went for a Gate Cyber Expand. And he's very fond of this. He's very fond of cutting corners and being greedy, going for a Max Pax-esque opener. We saw that Cristiano was able to punish him with 1-base all-ins previously, quite a lot actually, and we'll see if Gerald can do the same, or if he even wants to do the same. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss himself, the Polish Protoss representing Team Liquid, leading the series 1-0. It is MaNa. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player, the Polish Protoss representing Streamer Zone. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. It is Gerald. We go. Crazy game. Stalkers really won it, but Charge OP. I wouldn't say, wouldn't categorize them as OP. When it comes to Zealots, they usually, what I should say is that Stalkers, they don't scale incredibly well into a normal standard PvP. Like, they do get outscaled by just a more complex army. That's why typically once we get into the mid game, you want to be going to charge, you want to be going into Archons, into immortal production, into a more robust army. If you're stuck on pure Stalker, that's where you can be left behind. Thankfully, MaNa, he also teched up into charge lots. He was also able to refine his army as well. Able to refine, able to get out of pure Stalker. But he did almost straight up in the game, like, for sure. I think he could have actually. Like, I think if he was a little bit more assertive, if he had like a proxy pylon or a way to reinforce, I think he could have overwhelmed a little bit earlier. But regardless, we do have an initial opener, 2-gate opener out of Gerald. Meanwhile, MaNa going for a Gate Cyber Expand. If you remember, we spoke about this opener in the lead up to this game. We spoke about how MaNa is very fond of cutting corners. He's very fond of going Gate Cyber in this matchup, going Zealot first into a faster Nexus. You can see Gerald, that's why he's on patrol. He's on patrol here to block the base. Otherwise, MaNa would have already expanded by now. So Gerald, he's here with a pylon block. He does force out the Zealots, as Zealot has to do with the pylon. There's that pylon. Slow down the expansion, and MaNa forced to throw down the Stargate. So this is the exact same opener that MaNa was forced into last game. Stargate opener out of MaNa into a delayed base. Meanwhile, Gerald, he does open up Stalker Sentry into, I think he's going to skip his 3rd and 4th unit for a faster Nexus. We'll see. As Gerald sees, oh no, ooh, the probe goes down. Yeah, that should not have happened. Bit of miscontrol there from Gerald. And you can see here, yep, no 3rd and 4th unit. Like, Gerald, he's skipping his units here. Why? For a Nexus. And there it is. So he will skip and delay his 3rd and 4th unit here. He will get his Nexus. At the same time, MaNa also expands. So the base timings are very similar between our two players. Even though MaNa was being greedier, the timings are the same. Of course, one advantage that MaNa has is the Stargate. So he's moving out with the Oracle. The Oracle can harass across the map, of course. We saw that Gerald, he was able to keep up with the Oracle harass quite nicely last game. It was really impressive. Very impressive. Dev gets in. That does 2 shots, and there we go. 1 probe goes down. He gets 1. And, ooh, he gets 2. Yeah, he gets 2 towards the end. Just barely. Shield battery is almost done. Twilight Council's all the way for Blink. And here comes the Oracle. This time, MaNa is investing to a second Oracle. This did not happen last time. Remember that. This didn't happen last game. It was only 1 in game 1. But here he's got 2. Because this second Oracle, the Twilight Council is later than last game as well. So later Twilight Council and later Blink out of MaNa. Later tech, later upgrades. The Oracle does break forward. The Oracle's looking for a way in. So far, Gerald, he does chase him down. Now, what's scary about what's happening here is that because this hallucination is chasing the Oracle, this also means that the hallucination is not across the map scouting to see if there's a second Oracle. So this second Oracle is a surprise to Gerald. He's not aware. He's not aware that there's an additional Oracle. Hasn't been revealed yet. 2 Oracles, they can one-shot workers, so even if there's a shield battery, it doesn't matter. The shield battery does not deter 2 Oracles. Stalkers do, but you can see Gerald, he's out of position, he's getting a third base. As he takes a third, the Oracles, they bust into the natural, and probes are going down. Yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5 probe kills, very nice damage. 6, 7, 8, ay, ay, ay. 8 workers go down, and MaNa takes a lead. MaNa, he's now ahead economically, behind this, working towards Blink. Again, later Blink out of MaNa, going for his own gateway explosion. Oracles, they go back in, they get another couple of probes. Oh god, 12 in total, 13 in total, ay, ay, ay. 13 workers go down, MaNa does get away, and this is just brutal damage. And again, a big reason for this is because Gerald, he didn't scout, he didn't know that another Oracle was coming, he was not in position to stop the Oracles. So again, Gerald, he was lacking scout information, he was out of position, now he's committed. He does have a third on the way, a faster third than his opponent, that's true, but he has to do some counter damage. He's pushing. Look at the armies, we're neck and neck when it comes to Stalkers, but Gerald has 3 sentries. And remember, Blink is delayed. That's the one upside here for Gerald, is he knows that there was a second Oracle, so he knows that Blink is later than last game. And without Blink, MaNa, he cannot engage, not into force fields. Speaking of, yeah, force fields, they lock down the Stalkers. Yeah, he's locked in. And that's going to be 1, 2, 3 Stalkers going down. 4 Stalkers even. 4 Stalkers. Very nice trade for Gerald. Just bullying the army. Force fields, they once again look down another Stalker. So these are nice trades for Gerald, but at the same time, double Oracle, they go back in. Oof, they go back into the bases. Another 4 dead workers. And MaNa still maintains a massive economic lead. And now Blink is done. Now Blink is done, now it's go time. And even though Gerald did outtrade MaNa, because of MaNa's greater economy, he can now have a larger army. Like, it's all coming into each other here. As MaNa, he's overwhelming. He takes out the Stalkers one after the other. And there's nothing, there's 1 Stalker. There's nothing here. There's nothing to defend. GG gets called, and MaNa, he will take game number 2. Whew. GG. GG, well played. A very, very strong game here out of MaNa. Again, a lot of this just came down to the hallucination, to be honest. Like, as we mentioned, because Gerald, he chose to use that hallucination to follow the Oracle instead of scouting across the map, he did not know there was a second Oracle. And this is where mind games come into play for the entire series, because the reason why Gerald didn't go across the map is because he assumed there was only 1. Why did he assume there was only 1? Because of the previous game. Because in game 1, MaNa, he went for the same build and he only went for 1 Oracle. He only went for 1 Oracle in game 1. So it looked like the same build. It was not. So with that, MaNa, he caught Gerald with his pants down. The Oracles did critical damage. They did critical damage here, one-shotting workers and crippling the economy. Gerald was forced all in, and he had a nice fight with those force fields. It was nice, not good enough. Not good enough though. Again, he was not able to break the third base, he was not able to break MaNa with that push. In the end, MaNa overwhelmed. GG. And now we're getting into game number 3, and we'll see how this game, or we'll see if this series will continue. I'm hoping for a game 4, I'm hoping for a game 5. I'm hoping to see some more out of these 2 players, but the pressure is on. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the Polish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Team Liquid, leading the series 2-0, and 1 game away from claiming the series. It is MaNa. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Polish Protoss player. We have the player for Streamer Zone down in the series. Can he fight back? Can he bounce back? Can he make a series out of this? We know he can, but the pressure is on. It is Gerald. Go. Here we go. As every game so far, MaNa he has gone for a Gate Cyber Expand without fail. I mean, I say that. He's been blocked at the natural, so he's had to go for a Stargate opener every game. And we'll see that trend continues. There it is, 2-gate. 2-gate opener out of Gerald. Meanwhile, Gateway into Cybercore, into expansion out of MaNa. Here we go. So once again, the openers are the same. There's a Cybercore from MaNa. The probe is in position. Because this probe is here, this means that MaNa, he cannot actually expand without making a Zealot. So he's forced to make the Zealot. He's forced to deal with this pylon. And because his base is going to be so delayed, he has to make a Stargate. So once again, Stargate open out of MaNa. Now the question now becomes, does MaNa make 1 or 2 oracles? And does Gerald confirm whether or not there is a second oracle? And after that last game, I'm sure Gerald will. Like, I'm sure Gerald, now he's on notice. Now he's like, oh, like, you're mixing it up here. Now you're being a little bit cheeky. I have to scout you. I have to figure out what's happening. Now there's a little more pressure on Gerald. And again, he's at least aware of the potential of MaNa. There's our Stargate. So once again, 3 games in a row, Stargate opener. But every game, it's been a bit of a different deviation, a bit of a different follow-up out of MaNa. Breaking in. Ooh, can he get the Cybercore? Doesn't let it finish. There we go. Backup pylons on the way. And the reason why he cancelled, the reason why he threw down another pylon is ideally he can cancel this as well, just delays for as long as he can. Probe does pull out. Probe goes down. And ooh, there's a cancel in time. Gets a refund. There's a Nexus. Oh my god. Meanwhile, I was focusing so much on what was happening here, but Gerald, for the first time this series, he opens up Stargate as well. Are we opening a Phoenix? This should be a Phoenix opener here out of Gerald, and this would be a way. Yeah, there we go. Phoenixes are on the way. This is... he's trying to hard counter, basically. This will shut down the Oracle. He's like, you know what? The Oracles, they killed me last time. This time, let me just shut down the Oracles real fast and real quick. Wait. Has MaNa scouted? He saw the pylon, he saw the 2-gate opener, he didn't see the timing of the Nexus, but he's going for a Phoenix regardless here. This is a really good read out of MaNa. MaNa's poking in towards the natural. Oracle's pushing forward. MaNa does not open with a second Oracle. First one slips in. And this Oracle's going to be shut down. Yeah, forced to recall. And MaNa has to make a choice. Oh, he's supply blocked. Oh god. Brutal supply block here. The Phoenix is not in production, but there's no pylon. Okay, does finish Nexus. Nexus does finish. Phoenix is on the way. He's switching into Blink. But I do actually prefer Gerald's position. I do like it a little bit more here. Just because MaNa's going into Phoenix production, but he's getting caught out. The Oracle, this time there's no recall, and he will lose the Oracle. Yeah, the Oracle's going to go down. And Gerald, he will be able to maintain map control. Map control and air control as well. Gerald looking good. Looking solid so far. Pokes in, sees Phoenixes. He does see the Twilight Council. So he knows that it shouldn't be mass Phoenix. He knows that MaNa's investing into a ground army. Yeah, better stacking. Phoenix goes down. Oh! Ooh, trades 1 for 1. Bit of miscontrol there by Gerald. Took an extra hit, goes back in. Confirms the research. Confirms the gateways. And soon it's going to be all about those Blink Stalkers. Ooh, MaNa even getting a proxy across the map. Meanwhile, double adept into the mineral line. And Gerald is popping up. 4 more probe kills. Very nice damage here. 5 probes going down. Gets 5 workers, shades into the main, 6 in total now. And MaNa's gonna be forced into an all-in. Do you see what I see? I see as he does take down another Phoenix. But MaNa, he's, oh god! Let's get away. He has 3 gateways back at home and a proxy 4th gateway. Oh, he gets found! No, he gets found! The proxy's gonna be shut down. It was gonna be a 2-base 4-gate blink all-in, but not anymore. You can see that MaNa throws down another gateway, throws down another pylon, but everything will be depowered. He's racing across the map, but it's gonna be too late. Yeah, it's too little too late to save this. He will lose everything. Stasis trap as well. MaNa's being shut down. And again, it's all or nothing with MaNa. Now, MaNa still has double the stalker count. Jesus. Oh, now less so. But 12 versus 8. Still has a stalker lead. He comes in to repower the gateways. And MaNa's all in. He's here to end the game one way or another. Either he kills Gerald or he dies trying. Gets into the mineral line and gets 2 probe kills. It's 2 probes. Catching the Phoenix. Let's catch out the Phoenix. Likewise, MaNa, he does want to fight out here in the open without any shield batteries to bother. And MaNa does take better fights. Still reinforcing, still we're bringing more stalkers. Oh, making use of the heal. Let's go. Making use of the healing pad. Does heal up. MaNa. Tops off the army. Ooh, we'll lose a stalker there. Yeah, but a miscontrol there from MaNa. Does blink in. And he's overwhelming. Wow, he's overwhelming Gerald here. Gerald, he's fighting without the shield batteries. Once again, he baits him out into the open. That was not the fight to take. Gerald pushing up a ramp into a concave. The shield batteries are helping though. True. Does have those shield batteries. Ooh, despite that, still out of range. Yeah, still just a little bit too much out of range. And MaNa, he's done it. Wow, he has done it. This is a better showing here from Gerald. He was able to hold his own, able to shut down the opener, able to delay the all-in, but despite that, Gerald, he's still in danger. Oh my god, brutal stasis. Stasis goes off in the natural. Massive stasis trap. Once again, MaNa, he backs off, he tops up his army. Again, this healing pad benefits Protoss the most out of all the races, just because Terran armies can still heal and repair. Zerg armies, they heal up over time, but Protoss armies, they only regenerate shields typically. But now they have a way to heal up their main health. Does he have enough though? He's trying to overwhelm, leading out a lot of stalkers. Remember, the longer this game goes on, the better it is for Gerald. As Gerald has a full base, right? He has a 3rd base fully saturated. Remember, 2 base all in. Yes, MaNa's going for the golds, but MaNa still needs more damage. So Gerald, he's so close to holding. Needs a little bit more time, then he's good to go. Nice speed control here by Gerald. He blinks well for himself. Gold base is almost done. That upside shade into the mineral line. It's getting some probe kills, not bad. And MaNa, he needs more damage. Ooh, blinks in. Tries to blink into the bases. He's getting locked down though. He's gonna lose everything. GG gets caught. He gets locked down in the natural, and Gerald, he fights back. He puts a point on the board. Whew, GG. Gerald, he does a fight back. Again, a much stronger showing here by Gerald to be able to go into his Phoenixes, to be able to, more importantly, wreak havoc with the Adepts, get probe damage. We saw that MaNa, he was shut down when it came to his Oracle, when it came to his economy. He was forced into a 2-base all-in, and as he was being forced into the all-in, Gerald, he was able to find the proxy pylon, shut it down as well, and delay the push. I will say that MaNa had better fights out in the open, of course. Even though the all-in was stifled, even though it was delayed, he was still finding some better fights. But as we mentioned, he was on a timer, right? As we did mention, the longer the game went on, the better it was for Gerald, as he had a better economy, he had a better defensive setup, he had more shield batteries, and he eventually did it very well. GG. GG, well played. We have a series. We have a back and forth. Whew. Hi. Very intense there. Very intense. Now we're getting into our next game. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon, we have the red Polish Protoss player. We have the Team Liquid player, leading the series 2-1 and 1 game away from claiming the series and advancing on to the grand finals. He needs to amass 1 more game to make it through. It is MaNa. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player. We have the Polish Protoss fighting back, putting 1 point on the board. We'll see if he can fight back and force the ace match. Let's go. Representing Streamer Zone, it is Gerald. Go. Here we go as we are moving out across the map. Once again, we've seen the same opener every game out of MaNa. We've seen Gate, Cyber, Stargate into Nexus. Here we have a 2-gate opener out of Gerald. So once again, we have the same early game, but does MaNa invest into 2 Oracles? Does he go into Phoenixes? How does MaNa transition? How does he adapt here coming into the mid-game? Our eyes are on MaNa, because we've seen a little bit of everything. Remember, game 1, we saw a single Oracle into early Blink, into an all-in, into a very strong timing, if you recall, with 17 Stalkers. Game 2, it was double Oracle. Game 3, it was Oracle Phoenix. Into a Force 2-base all-in. This time, what's it going to be? As we are expecting Stargate play. Just because of that probe, Zeld has arrived. Yep, and there's a Stargate. I wouldn't be opposed, especially on Pylon, to go for a Stargate opener, single Oracle into fast Blink again, just like game 1. I do feel like this map would benefit that kind of play. Speaking of the map, welcome to Pylon. Pylon is a smaller map in the map pool, very aggressive map as a result, very short rushes and spike ground. As a result, aggressive moves, early timings, and all-ins are stronger on Pylon. That's Gerald, he will delay. Speaking of Gerald, he skips his 3rd and 4th units in favor of an earlier Nexus. You know what, that's a cancel on the Pylon, and now MaNa can expand as well. So there's an Nexus for Gerald, and there is the Nexus for MaNa. Once again, MaNa going to be opening up Oracle, but again, does he invest into a 2nd Oracle or not? Does he go for a Phoenix? Does he go for a Twilight Council? Our eyes are on MaNa. Meanwhile, Gerald's applying a little early pressure this time. Going double Stalker, true. And he's going double Oracle. Okay, he's going for the 2nd Oracle. He's going for the same opening he went for in game 2. Oracle moves out. Gerald, he's working towards Blink. Twilight Council's on the way. As MaNa's Oracle is spotted. The Adept as well. Meanwhile, Gerald, he's in position. We're going for the stasis. Oh, early reaction, but does pull away. Whew. Does pull away in time. Catching out 1 probe. And with that, Gerald, he holds. He does hold, he does defend for the time being. Meanwhile, now the pressure's on Gerald. He needs to scout across the map. He needs to scout across the map, and hopefully he does move out soon. The hallucination. What's going on? The hallucination. Get out of here. Hallucination. There we go. Whew. Does move out. But alas, Gerald, he's thankfully in position though. He does have Stalkers at the natural. He's got a Sentry in the main base, 2 Sentries in the main. These Oracles, they can still wreak havoc. Again, it's going to be a late scout here by Gerald, and probes are going to go down, getting 1, 2, 3, 4 probe kills. Nice start. Not game-ending, but a nice start here for MaNa. At the same time, poking in at the natural. Just causing a distraction. Going back into the main, getting another probe. Ooh, taking a lot of hits, though. Does take a lot of damage. Pulls out in time. 5 probe kills in total. And what's important is that MaNa does keep this alive. Behind this, working towards Blink. getting to the next game. So far, this game is similar to game 2, except this time, this isn't critical damage, right? Last game, or last time, when we saw this, we saw that MaNa, he was able to get 10 plus probe kills. This time, only 5, which is still good, but nowhere near as much. So Gerald, he's still in this. Like, Gerald, he's still in this game. He's now expanding. The worker counts are still neck and neck. Both players take their third bases, and now we're getting into the mid game. We're getting into a longer game state. And there's Forge on the way, Gateway as well. With that Forge setup, Gerald, he's working towards +1 and working towards a later stage here, getting into upgrades. Meanwhile, MaNa, no Forge yet. Interesting. No Forge in sight. He's warping in extra Stalkers. So a couple of things are happening here. MaNa, he's on 3 gates, correct? 4, sorry. He's going 4-gate Blink. This is the same build he went for in game 2. This is the build that caught Gerald off guard and caught him with his pants down, because Gerald, if you noticed, he has been skipping warp-ins. He's been skipping warp-ins here, and he's on a lower gateway count, so he only has 2 gates. Only 2 gates compared to the 4 of MaNa. MaNa does push in. MaNa has double the production, and he catches out the Stalkers. Thankfully, there's a shield battery. Yeah, there's one shield battery. It doesn't matter. We're still one-shotting. One-shotting Stalkers here, and MaNa, he will overwhelm. Again, 4-gate Blink out of MaNa. He breaks through, and again, Gerald, he was staying on a lower gateway count. He was working towards the Forge, working towards +1. Got a later 3rd gateway. And Gerald, he's caught with his pants down. And this is the same build that MaNa went for in game 2. And it also caught Gerald out there as well. As gateways are going down, stasis into the main base, catching out 3 probes, nothing major, but still damage is being done. And GG, MaNa, he will catch Gerald out, and MaNa will take the series 3-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. So 4-gate Blink out of MaNa. Gerald, he did not go across the map with another hallucination. He did not see how many gateways there were. He did not know how much production MaNa had. Gerald instead was going for a Forge for +1, which hits later, of course, and he was going for a later 3rd gateway, and which means for the majority of that game, for the majority of that defense, he was only on 2 gates. That's why his armor was so small, because he could only warp in 2 units at a time, whereas MaNa was warping in 4 units at a time. MaNa, he was doubling down and committing that much harder. Bam, able to catch him out. GG. GG, well played. With that, congratulations, MaNa. He will take the series. He will advance on into the grand finals. And with that, we have our confirmed final matches. Oh boy. Here we go. So congratulations. Now, if you're a fan of Gerald, do not worry. We're still going to be covering some Gerald coming up next, actually. Same with Spirits as well. So we still have some more matches. We still have some more series. Do not worry. Let us switch our scenes over and catch up on the bracket. Here we go. Okay. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look back yourselves. Here we go from the bottom, from the top. We have a Laser. If you recall, we covered this match earlier today. We had a Laser taking down Spirit 3-1. A Laser was waiting in the grand finals for his next opponent, and we have his next opponent, MaNa. MaNa takes down Gerald 3-1. So it's going to be MaNa versus a Laser in a best-of-9 grand finals match to determine the best player in all of Bologna right now. We're about to get confirmation. But of course, before that best-of-9, we have the 3rd place match. There is a prize difference between 1st place, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, so there is a 3rd place match. Spirit, he still has a chance to earn some extra prize money here. It's going to be Spirit versus Gerald in a best-of-7 3rd place match. That's a lot of games. That's a lot of games. That's up next. So first is going to be Spirit versus Gerald in a best-of-7, and then we're going to be getting into a Laser versus MaNa in that best-of-9. So 2 matches remaining, 2 series remaining, but really long series, best-of-7 and best-of-9. It's going to be crazy. As we speak, vetoes are underway. Vetoes are underway, so we're going to be going on a break, and when we come back, we'll have that next series. The manager does it, yes. The manager. It's beautiful. But yes, here we go. So with that, we're going to be going on a short break, and when we come back, we'll have that best-of-7. So yeah, take this moment to get some snacks, get some food, get some water, drain your disruptors, massage your marines, and hydrate all of your hydras. When we come back, we'll have that TVP. See you then.